Hey, it's a Trigger. Welcome back for another 2 p.m. with the Trigger. Great to be here. It's Tuesday. Yes. The days go by so fast. Sometimes you have to figure out what day of the week it is, what time of the week it is. And thank goodness for calendars. I live by my calendar more than ever in my life now because it's so important. Hey, today we're going to have a great time. We're going to get a little bit savvy on you as we dive into LinkedIn today. And if I got a surprise for you, have a great guest, a good friend. And she comes all the way from the Northland, not quite the North Pole, but darn close. She can almost see it. From Minneapolis, Carol Kammermer joins us today. And Carol, great to see you.
Hey, great to see you too, Rich. Thank you so much.
Carol Kammermer is a LinkedIn expert. She works with executives, CEOs to bring their LinkedIn profiles to life in a way that gets more links, more traction, more followers, more clients, which equals more money and revenue. And Carol, as we were talking backstage a little bit, we're coming down to the end of the year. People are already planning for 2023. And there's a dirty word called recession out there right now. So how are you helping people through this nervousness and what's normally transition, but it's a little bit more nervous this year?
So I think it's nervous this time of year for everyone, every year, but this one is a special one because that big R for recession is really looming on our headline horizons. So one of the things that is important is to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is representing you well. So the first thing I wanted to share with people is that right now, today, you should look and make sure that you have not just your business email attached to your profile, but also your personal email. Now, if you've been on LinkedIn for a really long time and you don't use it very often, this could be the case. And you absolutely don't want to lose control of your LinkedIn profile if ever you should find that they're showing you the door this afternoon. Now, I don't want to put these sad thoughts in your head, but better to be prepared than to be caught off guard. And I have worked with people who have literally lost connection with their LinkedIn profile, and I don't want that to happen to you. It's a really easy thing to do.
So, Carol, I just pulled up mine while you were talking.
Sure.
So, what are if they're worried about that hatchet falling, the transition happening? What are the key elements on this that we can point to and show them? Make sure you have this. Make sure you have this.
Okay. Well, so the first thing that you want to do is that making sure that you have 2 emails, and you could probably do that under the
little contact button there that I just.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the contact button is a public thing. You want to be at your settings level. So over at the very top of your profile, you will see a little avatar of you in the header.
Yep.
Okay. And click to yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
All right. So it's so little that I can't really read it, Rich. But are you seeing anything that says to edit your emails?
Actually, they've changed some of this. Interesting, because this one now has the website links and things like that, which you and I have talked about before. You have a booking link and other things in there.
Sure.
But on this behind the scenes, there is no email anymore. So this other button, right now, my email no longer shows my title front page. It's not easily accessible.
Right.
But inside the contact info, I do have it in there. That's where now it resides.
Okay. Well, fine. Let's go on. I want to make sure that you've got it, though. It is important. Number 2, you want to make sure that your picture looks like you. And this is important because so many people put a picture in there, 7, 10 years ago, or it was old when you put it in there, and all of a sudden you're in a situation where people are looking at your profile because you're looking for your next opportunity. And there's a mismatch between what you look like in your picture and what you look like in person. This is huge problem because we think if you're lying to me about what you look like, what else is not truthful on your LinkedIn profile? So
So like for mine, I've got two photos. I got the banner photo that shows me with the clapper, and I've got me in a studio. Is it good to have it two different variations, or is it
oh, I
just more
think it's
important to have
lovely.
the circle one be the primary one?
Oh, I think that yours is lovely. You are branded, my friend. And by golly, your hair looks the same in both. Your style has not changed, and that's great. So the other thing that you want to do is look at your headline and make sure that it talks about how you add value in the world of work. So the LinkedIn default headline would just be your current position and your
Hmm.
company. So that is your name, but under that, which I cannot read because
CEO of Rock the Stage Media, and then I
yeah,
have a host of NSA Behind the Stage, TV host, MC, and brand authority expert. I used to have, but I put it up in my header now, equipping you to shine and be your brand on camera. So
yeah.
I put that up there so it's
Mhm.
bolder, but I put more about what I do down here to help you do it. So does that make
Oh,
sense,
good.
or am I off?
No, that's great. And it talks about you know, how you add value. You're going to either in your banner image, which you have at those words, that would tell how you add value, or you know, you've got all of those different venues that hire you to add value. So I think you're really good on that. So the other thing that we want to do is have people take a critical look at their about section. So the about section is supposed to be the place where we get all excited about who you are. And yes, like we can't read that, but you know, having worked with it before, I think it's pretty good. We want to write the about section in the first person because we are trying to establish an emotional connection between ourselves and the person who's reading it. And when we talk about ourselves in the first person instead of in the third person, it is much more genuine sounding. So in our profile, we're trying to establish know, like, and trust. So the know part is all about being complete. From the top to the bottom, our profile needs to be well fleshed out. The like part comes from the images that we post. That banner image, I mean, you know, that's got style, that's got personality, that's great. And then the way that we write about ourselves in the about section, those things all are about like. And then there is trust. And that's where our credibility comes in, our indicators of credibility. And for many people, indicators of credibility can be the places that you worked and the logos that are associated with that. So the problem is that people who work for themselves very often have no logo associated with the company. And this is a real credibility, I don't know, pitfall. It doesn't serve them at all because our assumption is that if you don't have a logo for your current position,
Hmm.
you have a hobby instead of a business. So it's really not hard to correct, but it's essential. And you've got a logo right there, so that's a good thing.
I've got a logo in the about experience section, the resume area that most people kind of refer to it. I have my logo, so it also links up here where my current
Sure.
business job career is, and I also have the logo up on my banner as well. So per your tips, that needed to be sprinkled around a little bit to make sure everyone know it wasn't a hobby. This is a legitimate, real business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you are doing it, Rich Bontrager. I love it. So, but the other reason that people don't have logos are that they've spelled the company wrong or the school. I was working with an executive the other day from Pepperdine University, and there was no logo. I'm going, what the heck? So I looked, it spelled it wrong. And when you spell it wrong, LinkedIn is not going to second guess and give you something that's close. You're just out of luck. And so, he went to a really famous school, but it didn't show up well for him. Another reason that logos might not show up is that the company's been acquired, and the workaround is to put the new name of the company with its logo, and then in your text you can put when I worked for the company, it was known as, and put the real name.
So like the radio station has now been rebranded. One of them back in the day when I worked at, I've had to do that very same thing because radio stations do get acquired, they get rebranded, they get taken by iHeart or whoever it is.
Right.
And that association changes.
Yes.
And with the growth of networks, more and more, like there's the KFan Sports Network.
Right.
KFan now is a network, not just a station in Minneapolis.
Right.
It's a broader network. So this is ever changing. It's really important for everyone to pay attention as your corporations and businesses get eaten up or partner with. You need to keep track of that and keep up with it.
Absolutely. So my goal for people is to just take a look at their profile today, this weekend, figure out if there's something that you need to do. I have some resources on my website that might be helpful. So one of them is my book, and you can see that behind me. And the QR code that is...
There you go. You found it.
Yes, is my website. And so you can find my book either on Amazon, or if you're extra nice, you can find it on my website, because then you get an autographed copy sent from me, which is fun. And
I've read the book. It's great.
It is. It is a fun book, and it's got lots of awards to it too. So the other thing is I have a great course about working on your profile. It's called How to Be Found on LinkedIn, Key Strategies for Attracting Ideal for You Opportunities. And that's available for purchase on my website also. And it's getting rave reviews, and people who have used it have really made great changes on their profiles. So those are in addition to my one-on-one.
And there's one tip I want to squeeze in here before we go, because you brought it up earlier today on a different call we were talking about, and I did not know this. So I do encourage people, when you give a comment, when you give a like, don't just do the emoji, don't just give the thumbs up or the smiley face. Go write something about the comment, read the darn article. But now you've said with the LinkedIn algorithm, you need to go over 5 words or more to have it have value for them, correct? Can you explain that?
Right. So LinkedIn decides how long the post that I post, or you post, or anybody posts, stays around on the feed. And the way it judges that is how much engagement does it get. And if someone writes about an article that I wrote, "You go, girl," well, that's kind of nice, but it's not 5 words or more, and it doesn't show real engagement. LinkedIn is looking for real conversations. And so that's what works. So making sure that you are responding with 5 words or more will help the person who originally posted get their content to hang around more often, longer.
And if you do it for somebody else, they're more apt to do it for you, by the way. So it will come around to help you elevate your brand. But again, if you're going to do it right. Let them get the FOMO, the juice, the full breadth of it. And again, learn something new every time I talk to Carol. Carol is on top of this. She really knows her stuff. And if you are in that executive leadership space, you really actually need to pay attention. I do recommend a book. I've read it inside and out. We worked together on some things with her
Yes.
book promotions, and I really cannot say enough. It's really is a fun read, but you will learn so much as you mine the gold now of LinkedIn in a much, much better way.
Absolutely. Say, I see somebody on your feed that says that they're looking for help, and I did want to say that I do one-on-one executive coaching as well as these other things that are available.
So the question from Aaron is, I would love more information. How do they find you, Carol? What's the best way to track you down, please?
Okay, well, it helps a lot if you can spell my name, because everything is all keyed to that. So on LinkedIn, I'm Carol Kemmerer, and it's Kaemmerer. My website is carolkemmerer.com, and even my Twitter handle is ckemmerer. So you actually have to know how to spell it. At any rate, it's been a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Carol Kammerer, always a pleasure. Again, from Minneapolis, Minnesota. She is the executive, the savvy executive leader coach. You want to connect with her, go to her LinkedIn. Connect with her on LinkedIn. She would love to have you connected there and get to know her more. Don't forget, coming up, we do have Rock the Stage tonight. We have a great show on how to rock the stage coming up at 7 o'clock. We go live, and we're going to help you recession-proof your content. That dirty R word is out there. Carol and I reference that. And we're going to go over the seas tonight. And Carlton Brunton will be my guest. And we're going to talk about the content, your sales flow, your marketing plan. Don't have fear. Don't think it's all going to turn off. There are some things you can do to keep your content flowing, to get the results you want. And it will be recession proof. We're going to have a great time tonight. And find that link on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and other social media locations. You can learn more about Rock the Stage. And of course, go right to our website, rockthestagemedia.com, and you can learn more about joining the show, the live stream tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern. That's going to do it for this afternoon. We're back every day. Once again, we're here every day at 2 p.m. Eastern for 2 p.m. with The Trigger Live. Thanks to Carol Kammerer for dropping in, and watch for more special guests to be appearing at 2 p.m. with The Trigger.